What up guys, welcome back to another video. Just gonna start it off by saying a couple of things before we jump into this tutorial video. If you are interested in my other videos, there's some exciting videos coming your way. I'm working on a few titles and I'm gonna share just one or two. So one of the titles is going to be why I wake up at 4 a.m. every single day. Another one is I have a passcode to stop me from going onto Instagram. So this is a new series that I'm going to be doing, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to be giving you some insights and I'm very excited about it. Another thing that I want you guys to do, and I haven't said this, I haven't put this plug in a long time, is that you should subscribe and also click that notification bell so you're able to receive notifications every single time I upload a video. So if you are part of the notification gang, that's what's up. I will also do some honorable mentions. We have Sal Rak, who is part of the notification gang and was the first person to view the video I posted about be part of something big. And also another honorable mention is Abdallah Belele. You can also check out his YouTube channel. He posts some dope content as well. I think right now he's in Arusha, so you can check that out. So I've gotten that out of the way. I will give you some other updates about other stuff in the coming video, but I want to jump straight to this. So you've already seen that previous video on how to edit, and I asked people to hand in some images, and I got 2 people who handed in images. So I'm sure after this some other people will hand in, because it's a good plug. It's a good plug. But I got an account. It's called JVST Yusuf. I'm not sure where he's based, but I know he's Tanzanian. I think he's based maybe in Dodoma. I'm not sure. I think you can comment down below. Yeah, Dodoma actually. I'm correct. I just checked his profile right now. So he sent me a couple of portraits, and I'm going to be doing an editing workflow on how I'll edit those images. I'm actually going to select one of the images that he sent, which is this one right over here. So we're going to jump straight to this, how to edit. Let's go. So this is the image itself. I'm going to do some adjustments here. And by the way, I just want to say this is the first time I'm looking at this image, and I'm going to be figuring out with you how to edit this photo. So I will have some back and forth moments whereby I'm not sure. So you'll get to see all that stuff. Let's go. So I'm going to reduce a little bit of the exposure, reduce some of the highlights, reduce some of the whites over here. And it's a little bit warm, so I might just cool it down just a little bit. Right over here, bring in some of the magentas because I feel like it's a little bit too green, so bring that up. Bring in some contrast in the blacks over there, and I think that's about it for this part of the editing in Camera Raw. So this image was shot by Nikon D5300. Let's jump straight into Photoshop now. So we have the image now in Photoshop, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it out with frequency separation, and I will speed this process up, but I have an action over here that allows me to kind of create the different layers. So with this, the image right now is a portrait. I'll select skin portrait 8-bit because it's an 8-bit file, and I'll play that, and it will open my frequency separation layers over here. So you have the detail layer and you have the skin smooth layer. All right, so then I'm going to start editing. I'm just going to speed this process up so it doesn't take long for you guys. All right, cool. So we've already done the frequency separation right now. And what I want to do next is just some dodge and burn. I'll create 2 layers here of adjustments layers for curves. I'll bring one up and I'll bring the other one down. Right, so this is burn and this one is dodge. Then what I'll do is I'll change the blending mode to luminosity for both, so it only affects the brightness rather than the color. And I'll change the layer mask I'll invert the layer mask so you don't get to see it. Then get my brush over here and start editing the areas that I want to have kind of like a highlight, but drop down the opacity for my brush because I don't want it to be too strong. bring that over here, brighten that area up. So what I'm doing, I'm just finding these areas where I feel like there should be a little bit of a highlight, and I'm adding a little bit more. And I'm doing it a little bit quick. I usually take a little bit longer. I'll take probably about 15-20 minutes to edit like a normal portrait. But in this occasion, I don't want to take a lot of your time. So I am going through this a little bit faster than I usually do it. But if you want like a proper, and I'm putting another plug right now, if you want a proper tutorial, even in Swahili, you can check out Adelina's YouTube channel, and you'll be able to get some information on frequency separation and a lot of other stuff. So do go check it out, and I'll put her link in the bio. Ooh, that's a little bit too strong. Link in the bio so you can check that out as well. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just doing the dodge and burn. I do some in the eyebrows just to make it a little bit darker. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it allows me to kind of create some beautiful contrast with highlights and shadows. Makes the image pop just a little bit, and I do it in all the different areas of the person. And I'll just do it before and after. Let me group these files together. I'll just do DB, dodge burn, before, after. So just adding a little bit of character and style in the image. All right, so that's the second step. Another step that I really like to do in images is I create some grain, because I like that kind of film type of look. So I'll do a Command Shift N, which is a new layer now, and I'll do an overlay mode and click fill over 50% gray. If you're hearing a noise outside or hearing a little bit of the fan blowing, it's a little bit hot, and it is morning time, so people are alive out there. So yeah, I'm going to name this grain, open that up, and what I'll do is go to let me stop myself. So before I add the grain, I'll actually like to create the sharpness of this image. So I'll duplicate the layer and put this as S, sharpen, go into filter, others, high pass, and I'll put it at 1.5 and change the blending option of that layer to linear light, just to get a little bit more contrast. So before, after. No, it's not a little bit more contrast, a little bit more sharpness. Before, after, so we have a little bit of sharpness over there. I hope you can see it on your display. I'll merge that. I'll go into the grain layer now and go into filter, blur gallery, field blur, and I'll increase here on this tab for noise. I'll increase the amount of noise on this image. Let me just zoom in so I can see. So I'll increase that. I think until there is good. And I'll press OK. So yeah, we get a little bit of grain over there. So I'll do it before and after. So before, after. And the reason why I also like to add this as well is because, when you do sometimes frequency separation real quickly, you lose some detail in the skin. And I want to gain that detail back just a little bit. So before, after, you have some texture there. And I like the look and feel. So if you want to add that in your arsenal, go ahead and do it. So that's there. What I'll do now is I'll go into the adjustment, add another curve layer. So now I'm going to the color grading part. I'll bring the highlights up a little bit and create an S curve right over there. And then I'll go into the RGB. I'll do the same thing, bring that up, drop it down, go to the greens, bring that up, drop it down. And what I'm doing right now, I'm just creating some contrast. Bring that up, drop it down. And I will reduce this just a little bit. So before, after, we were getting a little bit of color into this image right there. And one thing I'll also do is in the RGB layer, I'll bring up some of the shadows over here. So you get a little bit of shadow and some details in the shadow over there. So this is before, this is after. Let me zoom in. Before, after. Sorry about that. Zoom back out. And I'll merge it. You can decide whether you're going to merge your layers. I usually just merge my layers. I'll just crop this image now to kind of the 4:5 aspect ratio for Instagrams. Let me see if I can crop it there actually. Let me see. I think that works. Yeah, that's cool. Let me see. What else could I do here? Another thing that I could do is play around with the selective color. Open selective color, go to the blacks, and I can add a little bit of blues in the black. So if I bring it up, you'll see a little bit more. If I bring it this other way, it's a little bit green. So I can bring a little bit of the blue there, bring a little bit of the magenta, and let me see if I add some cyan. No, just over here, the before after. I like that little blue tone there. I can go into neutral layer, and I can also play around with that. Maybe make it a little bit more yellow, a little bit more warmer here, because I feel like it was shot kind of like in a sunset moment. I feel, because I can see the reflection here of the sun. Maybe they use the reflector, I'm not sure, but yeah, I feel that way. And then in the whites, I will add in some, let me see, some yellows. Let me try something else. No, blue doesn't look great, looks too fake. I add in some yellows. Let me see the magentas. I add in some green, the cyans. I'll actually add in a little bit of the warmer side, the reds. All right, so here's before, here's an after, and that is how I edit this image. All right, so that's a quick portrait tutorial. Thank you so much, Yusuf, for sending through this image. I hope you kind of found a few things here and there of how I edit. And yeah, if you want to send me some images of your own for me to edit, there's some details in the caption. Check it out. I only accept 2 images, and I'll be doing these tutorials every single week. I did one the week before. I missed out last week, so I'm hoping to do another one this coming week, and I'll have some episodes. So stay tuned for that. Do send me some of your images, and I'll go through them, check out the details. Thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care. Peace out.